Hello viewers, welcome to EduTube, your school support educational channel where you can learn and relearn everything. In this series, 50 Commandments in English Language, we dive deep into the essential rules and tips to improve your English proficiency. Whether you are a student, a teacher, or just a native or non-native speaker looking to refine your English skills and comprehensively understand the grammatical technicalities of the use of the language, you are in the right place. Before we delve into today's lesson, if you are new to this channel or you are a returning viewer who has yet to subscribe to our channel, please kindly click on the subscription button below this video to get notified of more academic lessons like this. And if you are a returning viewer who has subscribed to our channel already, we say a big thank you for your love and support. See you in a moment. Welcome back. So in our previous lesson, we stopped at Commandment 10, which discussed extensively and exhaustively on the appropriate use of being and the present participle. But in today's lesson, we are introducing two more commandments, which is Commandment 11 and Commandment 12. Now, without any further ado, what does Commandment 11 say? Commandment 11 says that any verb that follows the primary verbs to do, whether present or past, whether positive or negative, such verb must be in its infinitive or base form. Now, let's analyze the context of this commandment. We're starting with the verb to do. What are the verb to do? Verb to do is another category of verb. They are under the category of primary verbs. Okay, so verb to do basically includes do, did, done, do not, does not. So those are verb to do. So any verb that follows this verb to do, such verb, whether the verb to do is a negative or is a positive or is present or is past, such verb that follows the verb to do must be in its infinitive and infinitive or base form. And we've explained in our previous video what infinitive or base form of verb is. The base form or the infinitive form of a verb is when a verb or lexical verb is in its natural form. That means without any addition of suffix or prefix, without any suffix or prefix. For example, we have come. So come is a natural state, or it is the infinitive or base form of come. The moment you add es to it, it becomes inflected. That means it becomes changed. Okay, so in that way it is no more in its infinitive form. So that's that about infinitive or base form of verb. So verb in its natural form, that is verb in its infinitive or base form. So any verb that follows the verb to do, which could be did, which could be do, which could be did not, which could be does not, or verb to do, such verb must be in its infinitive or base form. Now let's take out some examples to elaborate on that. So the first example we have says that I do sleep early. I do sleep early, but I always wake up late. I do sleep early, but I always wake up late. Now we have the verb to do there, do. Do is the present form of the verb. So it's the present form of the verb do. Okay, so and then another verb succeeded it, or another verb came after it, which is sleep. So sleep is in its base form or is in its natural form, is in its infinitive form. So that conforms with the commandment 11. I do sleep early, but I always wake up late. So it would be wrong to say I do slept early, but I always wake up late. So it is so wrong to say that. Any verb, any lexical verb that will come, or any verb, not basically about lexical verb now, any verb of any kind that will come after the verb to do must be in its base or infinitive form. So I do sleep early, but I always wake up late. And let's use a past tense of do, just to widen our understanding of the usage. Martin Luther King Jr. did speak against racism. Martin Luther King Jr. did speak against racism. Now this is a past tense, so did is a past tense of do, and then another verb comes after it, which is speak. Now because did is a past tense, you could have thought of using a past tense of speak also. That means you could have said Martin Luther King Jr. did spoke against racism, but that would be so horrendous and that would be so ludicrous and it would be so absurd to utter, to say. Okay, so the correct thing to say is Martin Luther King Jr. did speak against racism, not Martin Luther King Jr. did spoke against racism. So regardless of whether the verb to do is a present tense, past tense, positive or negative, as we said, the verb that will come after it must be in its infinitive or base form. That means it must have no addition or subtraction. That means it must have no suffix or prefix added to it. And then the third example says that it didn't work, so we had to find another it didn't work, so we had to find another solution. It didn't work, so we had to find another solution. Okay, so it didn't work, we had to find another solution. Now the verb to do we have there is in past tense and it's also negative, didn't, which is the negative of did. And did is a past tense of do. So it didn't work. And then we have work there. Work is an infinitive verb. It's verb in its natural form, in its base or infinitive form. So it didn't work, so we had to find another solution. So as we said, it should be outrightly wrong to say it didn't work, so we had to find another solution. Mind you, the entire context of the sentence is in past form. The entire context of the sentence is in past form. But then, regardless of being the past, as long as the verb comes after the verb to do, we must make use of the verb in its infinitive or in its base form. So that is that about commandment 11. Any verb that follows the primary verb to do, whether negative, positive, present or past, such verb must be in its infinitive or base form. Now, commandment 12. Commandment 12 states that any verb, whether lexical, anomalous, or verb to be, that follows the indefinite pronouns, such verb must be a singular verb. Any verb that follows the indefinite pronouns must be a singular verb. Any verb that follows the indefinite pronouns must be a singular verb. Now we have a lot of things to analyze here. First of all, we have to analyze the verb. What verb are they referring to in this commandment? The commandment is referring to all types of verb, whether it is lexical verb, which we call the main verb that portrays or that conveys actions in a sentence. Types of verbs that portray or convey action, types of verbs that portray or convey actions in a sentence, they are lexical verb. We discussed that in our previous lesson as well. And then anomalous verbs, they are verbs that deviate from the normal pattern of the uses of the verb because they can function as a main verb, they can function as a lexical verb, and they can also function as a primary auxiliary verb, as an helping verb. So that is why they are called anomalous verb, and they include has, have, and had. And then we have the verb to be, which include is, which the past tense is, was. And then we have are, which is the plural of is. And then we have was, we have were, and then we have be, we have been, and then we have been as well. So those are the verb to be. So any verb, whether it is lexical, anomalous, or verb to be, that follows, that means that comes after indefinite pronoun, such verb must be a singular verb. Now, what are indefinite pronouns? We know that pronouns, or we should know that pronouns are words that are used instead of a noun. They are used to replace a noun. For example, Mr. Ola is a teacher. Mr. Ola is a teacher. Now, instead of using Mr. Ola, we could say he is a teacher. He there has replaced Mr. Ola, so he is a pronoun. But for the sake of this commandment, they said indefinite pronouns. So that means they are specifying on the type of pronouns that we need to be cautious of with these commandments, according to this commandment. Okay, so the type of pronoun we have to be cautious of according to this commandment is indefinite pronouns. So any verb that comes after indefinite pronoun. So what are indefinite pronouns? Indefinite pronouns are pronouns that are not specifying on a person or something. They are pronouns that are not pointing towards any specific person or any specific thing. Okay, so those are indefinite. In fact, that is the reason why they are called indefinite, as the name implies. Okay, indefinite. So what are the examples of indefinite pronouns so that when you see them, you know them? Okay, examples of indefinite pronouns, they're usually pronouns that have body, one, and the rest. For example, we have anybody, somebody, nobody, anyone, someone, no one, anything, something, nothing, somewhere, nowhere, everywhere, everyone, everybody, etc. So these are categories are the category of indefinite pronouns. So any verb that comes after this set of pronouns, these indefinite pronouns, such verb must be a singular verb. Now, the last thing we now need to understand is, how do we know a singular verb? Does verb have a singular or plural form? Yeah, verbs have singular and plural form, which we have analyzed, elaborated in our previous lesson, especially in commandment number 1. Okay, so a verb is plural when it is in its infinitive or base form. A verb is plural when it is in its infinitive or base form. That is when the verb is plural. And the verb is singular. A verb is singular when there's an addition of s or es. So basically, to form the plural, to form the singular of a verb, you simply do the opposite of the pattern of the formation of plural of nouns. What do I mean by that? When you want to form the plural of a noun, you add s, es, or ies. For example, boy becomes boys. You've added s to form the plural. But in case of verb, you simply add s to a verb to make it singular. So you add s or es to make a verb singular. Now, having understood this set of keywords in the commandment, now let's give some examples to elaborate on that. So, first example says that everyone knows the truth now. Everyone is an indefinite pronoun and it's not specifying on anyone. It just says everyone. So everyone knows the truth now. Actually, in actual sense, everyone is a singular pronoun. But then because of the every, we might think it's a plural pronoun, but it's not. So it's an indefinite pronoun. So everyone knows. So know there is a verb and it's carrying an s at the end to indicate that it's a singular verb. So everyone knows the truth now. So it would be wrong to say everyone know the truth now. So the right thing to say is everyone knows the truth now. Then example 2 says that someone is in the room. Someone is in the room. Someone is also an indefinite pronoun followed by is. Someone is in the room. Is a verb to be, which is a singular form of are. Is a verb to be, which is a singular form of are. So someone is in the room. It would be wrong to say someone are in the room. So the right thing to say is someone is in the room. And then the third example says that no one has broken a record yet. No one is also an indefinite pronoun. Now, some grammarian or some people may decide to join the no and one together, while some people may tend to separate it sometimes. But the most official and the most correct thing to do is to separate the no and one. By the way, together they are indefinite pronoun. So no one has. Has is an anomalous verb, which is a singular of have. So no one has broken a record yet. So no one is an indefinite pronoun. Has is a singular anomalous verb, conforming to the commandment number 12, as it states that any verb with a lexical anomalous verb to be that follows an indefinite pronoun, such verb must be a singular verb. So, and that is the end of our lesson for today. That is that about commandment 11 and commandment 12. You could check the description of this video to see an attachment or the links to all our previous videos. Okay, so thank you as usual. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. If you are new to this channel, please kindly click on the subscription button below this video to get notified for more academic videos like this. And if you want to check on our other previous videos, check up here. You will see the end screen that appears at your right hand or your left hand. Just click any of them. It will take you to all our other previous lessons on 50 commandments in English. Okay, so thank you. And then if you are a returning subscriber, we want to say from the bottom of our heart that Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. We'll see you in the next lesson.